How's it hanging, ladies and folks? My name is Chris RR Bauso, and this is my show. You're about to hear Chapter 10 of my ongoing sword and sorcery sci-fi narrative. A story written, read, performed, and edited, all with your earholes in mind. So don't even concern yourself with going back to catch up quite yet, because this episode, like every episode, just so happens to be the perfect jumping on point. And then, once you're hooked, feel free to go back and check out all the previous episodes of the show while you wait for next week's tale to drop. But for now, all I need you to do is sit back, relax, and allow me to unfurl the wizard scroll.
Thank you for tuning in to Adrian Orcmire in the morning on 96.9 Orc FM. It is 4:20 a.m. on August 18th, 6869. And after 3 days and nights of non-stop rocking, our continued coverage of the Wiz-Stock Music Festival is approaching its merciful end. Let me tell you, this whole thing has been a logistical nightmare from front to back. Traffic jams, people getting into the event without paying, rain delays, mud everywhere, food shortages, poor sanitation, and even a handful of reported fatalities among the concert goers. But I'd be danged if it wasn't just the most magical string of performances you ever heard. With such iconic acts as Joe Crocodile and the Ponscum Band, Carlos Santorna, Incredulous Clearwater Resurrection, Jefferson Birdman, Janice Halfling, and even the Hoomstatoo, all join forces to spread the message of peace and love across the land. But the show ain't over yet, ladies and germs and sperms, because the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Candlewicks is slated to close out the show with a banger of a set at 8:30 a.m. sharp. It's going to be a performance you do not want to miss, so stay tuned to 96.9 for all your Wiz-Stock related updates. But for now, all I need you to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the soothing sounds of the magnetic buzz.
You heard the stone jockey, Gregorc. We only have 4 hours to get to Wiz-Stock, or else we'll miss Jimmy Candlewicks. And the rest of the festival, for that matter.
Babe, I said I was sorry. I'm pushing the forward cart as fast as I can, but it's just so hard to get anywhere on account of these crutches.
Well, maybe next time you won't catch polio as a baby, and then conveniently lose all the use of your left leg right before the big show. Now, are we just gonna sit here and listen to Adrian Orcmire in the morning on 96.9 Orc FM some more? Or are you gonna get a move on?
Yes, Orcmire. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. I think the other leg is going to...
Welcome back to Adrian Orcmire in the morning. It is 6:09 a.m. here in this random field in upstate New York, and the sunrise is just barely visible on the horizon line. Jimmy Candlewicks' climactic performance is still about 2.5 hours out, so I'm gonna mosey on out of this here booth and interview some of the folk down at the festival grounds.
Gregorc, for the love of fork, it's been 2 hours, and we've only moved 690 yards. That's not even 7 fantasy football fields long. What are you doing out there?
I'm trying, babe. Please.
Don't babe me, babe. We'll never make it to Wiz-Stock at this rate. I thought you loved me. I thought you wanted to conceive our child at Wiz-Stock together.
Orcmire, of course I love you. And you know I want our little Gregorc Jr. to be able to grow up and say, my parents conceived me at Wiz-Stock just as much as you do. It's just this darned post-polio syndrome has made it impossible for me to walk unassisted. I'm sorry.
Sorry ain't gonna cut it, chump. You either get us to that festival in time to see Jimmy Candlewicks, or we are over. You understand me? Over. Through. Dunyan rings.
Oh, jeez, what am I gonna do now?
And lo, here came a hulking silhouette backlit by the rising sun. The prodigious frame of a man of purpose, a man of cause, a man on a most dire mission indeed. His mere outline exuded all this and more as the orcs watched his approach, each taking stock of the 15-foot-long gleaming silver blade strapped to his back. He was massive in every sense of the word, with a musculature the likes of which would make yo mama say, "God damn, boys, maybe if you had muscles like that, you'd finally get your wizard wands wet." Despite being a mere human, with pale peach-colored skin, small rounded ears, and distinct lack of protruding lower fangs, he towered over Gregorc and Orcmire both. And presently he leered down at them from a set of deep purple eyes, smiling brightly as he spoke.
Hail, travelers! You headed to Wiz-Stock too? Maybe I could be of some assistance.
Hello there, friend. I'm Adrian Orcmire, and you're live on the air. State your name for the microphone, please. Well, hi. My name is Randall the Rotund, and I'd like to congratulate my friend Orc J. Simpson for getting drafted to the Ruffalo Quiz. You're gonna make a name for yourself, buddy. You haven't done anything wrong yet. Keep it up.
Me? Willie D. Nelson of the Weedman Jungle over in the oversea land of Fredonia. I took a sabbatical from guarding my wizard knight's amulet to see this sick-ass show. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm about to fucking peek.
Well, howdy-ho there, everybody. I'm Azataz the Wise, a.k.a. the Wiz with the Biz, a.k.a. the Dope Fiendy Popini. The only man in town with a giant staff on his giant staff, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I have an announcement to make. Legalize all drugs. The chops are fascists. War is bad. Corporations are poisoning this realm. I can see God's taint right now. I'm so fucking zooted. Uh-oh. Diarrhea. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh. Yeah, hi. I am Bernie Sanders. I'm stoned out of my fucking mind right now. I have been giving wizard weed joints to people in exchange for other, more illicit drugs such as crack and crack, wizard acid, magic shrooms, mescaline, LSD, which of course is short for look, see, dem balls. And of course, I would be remiss to forget about good old-fashioned black tar. Ah, jeez, these guys are all whacked out of their gourds. This was not a very good idea, huh? Oh well. Here's Do You Really Want to Know by Captain Cubs as I mosey on back up to my booth.
The radio speakers blared as he pushed hard, as he pushed fast, the wheels of that wood Camaro spinning at a breakneck pace as he placed his powerful hands upon its trunk, as he pushed as hard and as fast as he could across the rolling green plains of upstate New York. The landscape little more than a grassy green blur in his periphery as his Herculean frame charged ahead, directly toward the gigantic floating stage looming just above the horizon line. His mighty muscles flexed and tightened as he wiped the long, sweat-soaked strands of hair from his brow, as he effortlessly shouldered the weight of that fully loaded wagon, the one with the words "The Fornicart" scrawled across the side in bright red ink.
Thanks again for letting me tag along, guys. It helps more than you know.
No, thank you, stranger.
Yeah, man, you really came through when we needed you most, man. What's your name, man?
I'm Rodney.
Huh. Sounds foreign. How you spell that?
RAH''D''NY.
Well, Rodney, you'd saved our marriage. And you know, at the end of the day, that's what Wiz-Stock is all about, man. Peace and love and all that jazz, man.
There's a jazz man?
Anyway, that's a rather large sword you got there, friend. You're not compensating for anything, are ye?
Who the fuck says ye anymore? It's 6869 for Goblin Christ's sake. But thank you for noticing. It's my big fucking sword. I named it myself. 15 feet of gleaming wetted silver sharpened to a razor's edge. I'm pretty sick, huh?
Man, put it away. Man, you could really hurt somebody with that thing.
That's the plan.
So, Rodney, you want a beer? Don't worry, it's the 60s, so we're allowed to drink while operating a wooden carriage.
Oh, wonderful. Boy breakfast. I'll take 2. Hey, Gregorc, this is one sweet ride you got here. It's a nice mattress on the floor.
Thanks, I know. She's a real wife pleaser, I tell you what. I'm gonna shoot you straight, though, man. We're fixing to get this car to rockin' once we get to the festival. Just like my future son one day will. Just like his future son will attempt to do so also. Boy, howdy, do I love heterosexual relations. Anyway.
Wait, why'd you say it like that?
Say what, like how? Oh shit, a cow!
Ugh. Don't have a cow, Gregorc.
My bad, I was thinking about some other shit.
Hey there, everybody. This is Adrian Orcmire here with 96.9 Orc FM. It is 7:46 a.m. and it seems we might have a rain delay on our hands out here on account of the dark, malevolent cloud of pure void energy that's forming above the festival grounds.
Oh shit, she's coming. I better shift this thing into maximum overdrive.
We'll keep y'all updated on whether Jimmy Candlewick's performance will have to be moved, but signs are pointing to a definite perchance. Anyway, here's Unlucky Man by Incredulous Clearwater Resurrection.
Oh, thank goodness! The performance is getting delayed. For a second there, I thought we'd miss it.
Oh, we ain't missing that performance. That's for dang sure.
And lo, the speedometer climbed and climbed, reaching speeds that no man should have possibly been able to attain, let alone maintain. We're talking 20, maybe 25 miles per hour, as Unlucky Man continued to play, and a resolved grimace slowly crept its way onto Rodney's scruff-covered maw.
Wiz-Stock or bust, baby!
Some folks born parents present. Well, I had neither. Some folks think this is copyright infringement. Yeah. Oh, the baby wrong. Parody. I know my copyright laws, bruh. Sometimes I'll get recognized on the street. They think I'm more J. Simpson, but it ain't me. I'm someone else, yeah. It ain't me. I don't even like fantasy football, yeah.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's 8:45 a.m. Still waiting on this ominous dark purple cloud to dissipate. No sign of Jimmy Candlewick's either. He must be taking a fat steaming shit right now or something. Oh, fuck. Can I say shit on the radio? No, shit. Can I say fork on the radio? Yeah, fuck him.
Who do we want?
Jimmy Candlewicks!
When do we want him?
In the foreseeable future!
Oh my god, they're starting a goddamn riot down there. I sure do hope Jimmy Candlewicks gets here soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, witches, wizards, and warlocks of all ages, put your hands together for the Jimmy Candlewicks experience.
Oh, thank goodness. Jimmy Candlewicks and his bandmates have taken the main stage. For a second there, I thought these 460,000 wizards, mages, and magic enthusiasts were gonna pop their corks.
I see that we meet again. Well. Hey, let me set the record straight, though. Me and the boys are tripping on purple haze all in our brains currently, so we decided to change our band's name. We are no longer the Jimmy Candlewicks Sexperience. I guess you could call us a band of bone boys in disguise.
I don't get it.
He and his bandmates stood motionless in the center of the stage for a pregnant moment. A moment swiftly aborted when they busted into a rather unique rendition of Yergslind's national anthem. You have way too much skin. You have way too much skin. So just peel that skin off and you'll feel so much better. It is important to note that Jimmy Candlewicks was not the one singing just now. He only plays guitar in this universe.
Huh? They sing about peeling people's skin off? They make it sound so appealing, too. See what I did there? Oh, gee, some of the concert goers are actually doing it. What the fuck is going on down there?
All the while, the conspicuous dark cloud increased in size at an exponential rate, expanded to such a large size that it fucking exploded. The blast triggering a huge shockwave of purple haze, which rained down from the sky, coating the whole place in a thick, pungent mist, making quick work of engulfing at least 420,000 of the event goers in one shot.
Oh, the Orcmanity! At least 420,000 people have been engulfed in some sort of purple haze! Oh, dear God, they're all too bad shit Mondo Stone to do anything about it! If anybody out there still has their mental capacities about them, run! Fly! Teleport out of here! The Lich Queen cometh! Well, it appears some of the purple haze has sinked up into my booth as well. Here's We Won't Survive by A Sapphire Law.
We've been alone for a while. Me and my heart, we're tired. As long as you're away from us, we're just living in the past. As long as you're away from us, I'm captive in my heart. And there's a good chance we won't survive. What have we done to us? What made the curtains fall? Now I can only say the show must go on.
Disregard everything I just said. Nothing is wrong. The crowd is enjoying the performance. Peel off your skin. Peel off your skin. Peel off your skin.
Hundreds of miles away in a small farming village, an electric fan spun and oscillated atop a simple wooden desk, providing what little comfort it could to that hot, muggy hovel. When all of a sudden, an orcish toddler of 3 or 4 years waddled into the room. It was none other than baby Spitshine, who swiftly leapt up onto the desk and dropped trow, squatting over the fan with his ass exposed as he squeezed out a big log of shit, one that was torn asunder and splattered all over the walls after passing through the fan's rotating blades. Then he turned to the camera and said with a wink,
Did I do that?
"How many times has this happened to you? You're looking for a decent voice actor to really bring your script to life, and you end up with guys like this."
Hold on, let me deep throat my microphone real quick.
Yeah, let me remove the pop filter so you can really my mouth noises. So,
Hi, Billy Mays here with a fantastic new service that's taken the voice acting world by storm. Introducing the Wizard Scroll line of services, now available on Fiverr. If you're in need of professional grade voice acting for podcasts, cartoons, YouTube videos, reels, shorts, musicals, and more, then boy do I know the perfect guy for you. If you've heard any of the content Chris has put out over the past 3 years or so, then you already know the kind of quality your boy can deliver. So if you need fast, reliable service from a guy who gives a goddamn, get yourself to Fiverr.com today. While plenty were able to shield themselves through the use of some spell or ward before the haze took them as well, they were few and far between, and perhaps the unluckiest of them all, because with their mental capacity still about them, they were granted a clear view of their doom. A clear view of the black hooded figure who had taken to the stage in the moment of chaos following the Bone Boys in Disguise's performance. That tall, lithe frame whose face was obscured entirely by her long, drooping hood, though her deep purple eyes managed to cut through the darkness and the fog alike as she took up the microphone.
People of Wiz-Stock, welcome to my thrall, y'all.
She kicked off her sinful sermon with a voice like shattering glass, a voice so intimidating that it caused someone to pee their pants to death. And I'm not naming names, but Randall the Rotund managed to forcefully eject 90% of his considerable body weight out through his urethra. Piss, blood, vital organs, and bones spewing everywhere as his big round belly flattened like a fucking pancake.
Oh my badness! Did that guy just piss himself so hard that he died? I'm flattered that my presence strikes such terror into your hearts. But I'm afraid death ain't getting nobody off the hook.
And with this, she spread her arms wide, her long, jet black and pointed nails contrasting greatly with her milky white fingers as she did so, as purple haze blasted from her palms and enveloped the puddle of innards that used to be a man. The haze swirled around and around, spiraling over Randall the Rotund's entrails like some purple-flavored soft serve, coating the putrid, gory mess in its entirety before compressing into a solid shell. A heaving, convulsing chrysalis that shook and spasmed in place as it underwent its macabre metamorphosis.
Anyway, how are y'all doing here today? Can I get a what?
In unison, the wizards who had been ensnared in the Lich's trap did as their queen commanded. Approximately 420,069 flat, lifeless voices reverberating out as one.
Alright, you bunch of hippie-ass clowns. Let's get down to business. As you may know, the Skelenom War has been raging on and on and on with no end in sight. Bodies throwing themselves at one another, ceaseless, pointless killing and re-killing and pain and destruction, etc., etc. You get the gist. Today, I call upon you, my magically inclined brothers and sisters, fellow Wizard High School alums and dropouts alike. Today is the day we end this war once and for all.
Even those who hadn't been hypnotized were listening intently at this point, intrigued as to just what the heck she was going on about now.
I propose a final solution, one that, once enacted upon, shall bring about everlasting peace and prosperity to this great land, and perhaps all others as well.
Those with their mental capacity still about them immediately returned to being frightened, as anybody who uses the phrase final solution to describe their pitch for world peace was for sure about to say some super ominous shit. When all of a sudden, that ghastly cocoon burst in two, as that thing clambered on out, grabbed a guy and ate them whole in one swift motion. It burst from its pupil encasing and took to the skies, flapping its fleshy, skin-colored wings as it shat out a perfectly preserved skeleton. Huh, so that's where babies come from, said the skeleton.
If we all band together, pool our considerable talents into one final bang, we could unleash a spell so powerful, so magnificent that all life in Yerxland would cease. And from the ashes, from the smoldering remnants of civilization as we know it, by my hand, life would begin anew. Skelemen, zombies, and Frankensteins as far as the eye can see. AKA a perfect world, one in which I am God.
Not on my watch, you fucking scourge!
The warrior screamed to be heard from amidst the heaving, brainless mass of bodies he now tore through, screaming all the way as he used his sword as a pole vault, did 3 front flips and landed in a gratuitous squat up on stage. The camera panned down and focused on Rodney's buns of steel for a hot second, before panning up and around to his scruffy visage, to his lowered brow, his pugilist nose and gritted teeth, as he raised his comically large sword in her direction and topped off his war cry.
Your reign of tyranny ends today, or my name isn't King Rodney.
Oh, please, child. You ain't the king of taint. Are you so dense as to forget already? I usurped your Patch Adams ass last week. There was a big battle and everything. Well, less a battle and more a slaughter. But you wouldn't know anything about that, though, would you? Because, if I remember correctly, you were busy running away like the craven fool you are.
Fuck you, Lich. I was on a last-minute fetch quest, totally different from running away. And I have this sword, a.k.a. the Blade of Legend, a.k.a. the Blade of Lich's Bane, a.k.a. your doom and destruction to show for it.
Rodney thrust his sword forward with the power of both arms, each of those bulging biceps and toned triceps acting as a single unit, as that gleaming, shimmering blade, the one that couldn't possibly have all fit inside the fornicart but nevertheless had, as he thrust it clean through the Lich Queen's chest.
Are you for real right now? How the fuck did you get your grubby mitts on the... on the anointed eviscerator?
The sword ain't called that anymore, Lich. Now that I wield the Blade of Legend, I have bestowed onto it a new, more fitting name.
And what would that be, fool?
Nunya.
What?
None your damn beeswax, you wretched hag!
He twisted that big fucking sword around in the Lich's ruined innards as he spoke, as he clenched his eyes shut and let out a victorious howl, opening his mouth wide as to emit as loud of a war cry as he possibly could. Because he had won. He was the victor. He had bested his foe, the dastardly pure evil that was Umbrella the Lich Queen. Caught her off guard and impaled her with the only blade in existence able to pierce that flawless, milky white flesh. So he roared, unleashing upon the ruined remains of the Wiz-Stock festival a cry so raucous, so powerful and rage-filled that it dispelled the purple haze in its entirety, banished it back to the ether whence it came, breaking the trance that had befallen those hundreds of thousands of attendees, snuffing out the final glowing coals of the Lich's influence once and for all. Or so he thought. Because as that guttural, triumphant yell blasted the eardrums of all those in attendance, as his eyes remained closed tight and the big fucking sword remained embedded in the Lich Queen's blood-soaked chest, the impossible occurred. Something within her mangled innards stirred. Something primal, something that kept her clinging to life despite her wounds, despite her mass organ failure and fatal blood loss alike. Something that just refused to allow her to give up the ghost and die. Not yet, not here, not now. And that's something. The driving factor that kept that Lich clinging so dearly to life? Pure, blind desperation. So, with her last ounce of energy, just enough to pull off her final, desperate gambit, with her vision going dark around the edges, and with buckets of that pitch-black blood now congealing on the floor around her, she stood once again. She reached into her blood-stained cloak's inner pocket and pulled out a fistful of magic shrooms. Those blackened, dried little mushrooms whose effects on the mind and soul were dangerous in their obscurity, hazardously unresearched, and erratically random from person to person. And she clutched a whole handful of them as she walked forward, impaling herself further on that shining silver blade. running herself through on its razor's edge until she was within arm's reach of that so-called king. That blasphemous ruler who had sacrificed his entire populace to her, had used them as bait so that he might live to fight another day. That fool who didn't even bother to look upon his own gruesome handiwork. 15 feet of whetted silver slicked with the Lich Queen's unholy gore as she closed the gap between them. Silver turned jet black as Rodney's guttural yell continued. His eyes sealed shut, his ears ringing with the sound of his own blaring voice, and his waiting mouth held wide open. A perfect storm for her to make her move. So she reached up, caressed his stubbly chin with a milky white, ice-cold hand.
Open up the tunnel. Here comes the Wood Camaro.
And lo, before he had even realized it, he was gone. His mind locked in a space outside of time where his senses were assaulted, blasted in ways both known and unknown to Rodney himself. Blasted every cell of his being, it seemed, with light, but it was dark. A pitch-black void of silence that smelled of pine sol. Rodney turned his head and saw a figure mopping the floors in the distance, so he ran toward it, but began traveling down instead. Down, 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 forever down, until he stood face to face with her. A gaping, black, bloody hole in the spot where her heart should have been. Standing double, triple, 10 times his height and leering down at him with those eyes. How? Was all he could manage to ask before his jaw unhinged and turned to dust on the way down. But she answered anyway.
I know a guy. Now have a nice trip.
Her eyes were the last thing he saw before the madness set in entirely. Took the reins of his psyche, burned them to cinders, and dove overboard, 'cause that's just how madness rolls. His mind a wood Camaro with no steerer, swerving all over the place, drifting wildly in every direction simultaneously, but nowhere at all. Scent punching straight through a hole in the fabric of space-time. Scent slipping out of reality itself.
Oofa! That's the last time I eat day-old pocket shrimp.
Azataz sighed with relief as he emerged from a porta-potty and stepped out to the festival grounds. But as soon as he did so, as soon as he looked to the stage and saw his ex bleeding out on the floor and that other guy writhing about like a thing possessed, wailing in tongues so ancient that even he hadn't heard of them. In response to all this, he pulled a bong out of his afro and took a hit, appearing totally unconcerned with the sorry state of his surroundings until he took a sip of the dirty bong water and did a spit take with it.
What the fuck happened out here?
He was utterly dumbfounded as he gazed upon the Lich's body fizzling away into a cloud of deep purple haze. And moments later, as that other guy fell off the stage, then through the ground below. Not through a portal on the ground, mind you, but through the dirt itself. Dude must have been fucked up. Both combatants spirited away from the gore-slick stage, leaving behind naught but that blessed blade, the big fucking sword, that several body lengths long shaft of whetted silver now caked in black, congealing blood.
Hey, Rodney left his cool sword. Is this, just like to take, or we're taking this?
You know who'd appreciate this? My sister's kid. Fuck you.
That's a terrific idea, Orcmire. That little rascal's all about cool swords. I bet he grows up to be the mightiest warrior of our generation someday. I also have psychic visions.
Huh? Where am I? What just happened? Hold on here, lazy folk. Let me whip out my badonkulars to get a better view. Oh, ding dong, the Lich is dead. Once and for all, it seems. Gosh, I hope I don't end up eating those birds later on. Thank thank you for tuning in to Adrian Orcmire in the morning. I've been Adrian Orcmire, and I'll smell you later.
Well, Gregorc, this child ain't gonna conceive itself.
Yippee!
Thanks for tuning in to me screaming about wizards for a half hour and change. If you're still here, odds are that you totally dig what you just heard and are seething in your seat for more. So let me tell you that more is in store if you just subscribe to the feed on your podcatcher of choice and check out the backlog for episodes you might have missed. That way, you'll be all caught up for next Saturday's episode when it drops. Next Saturday. But anyway, word of mouth is how this show can continue to grow, so share the shit out of it with everyone you know. And until next Saturday, bye.